Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and Sumner Spartans Lacrosse players. Welcome to your senior recognition. As you can see, tonight the field is empty, the stadium is empty, but your coaches are here, and I know your family and you are here in spirit tonight to recognize these seniors. Never before in their lives or any of our lives have we experienced anything quite like what these seniors have been through with the arrival of the coronavirus in our community. And tonight we want to make sure that even though the season was lost to the virus, that the spirit, the heart, the hustle of these young men was not lost and still remains with them. And tonight we're here to honor them. We do want to thank the support of Sumner High School and the sport of lacrosse. And we want to especially thank the athletic director, Kelly Kirk, and of course, Tim Thompson. For without Tim and his efforts over many years, lacrosse would not be as strong as a sport as it is at Sumner High School. Tonight, we want to thank and recognize those opponents, the other teams that the Spartans were going to play this year. And we know that we would have come out and fought with everything we had to carry us to victory over our opponents, and then at the end of the game we would have shook your hands as brothers. So we want to recognize them in their last season. We want to thank the coaches standing out here on the field tonight, David, Brandon, Javin, for the so many hours and hours upon hours of effort and time and commitment that they gave to this team and especially to these seniors. There were high hopes, great expectations, and the day started for this new season after the day after last season, and there's been a lot of work and effort. So we want to thank the coaches and honor them tonight for everything they've done for this team and for these young men. We want to thank the family and parents of these seniors, for without the support of their loved ones, especially their parents, none of their lacrosse history would have been happening at all. And they gave support through love, through effort, through time and commitment. So parents, tonight we honor you in the great achievement of your sons. And of course we want to thank the players. And tonight we're going to do that by honoring each and every player just like a regular senior recognition. And again, even though you're not here on the field, you're in our hearts. Recognizing tonight, number 1, Cooper Ford, a defender and a long stick midi. Cooper is celebrating the senior with his parents, Kevin and Erica, along with his 3 little sisters, Reese, Ella, and Campbell. Cooper has been playing lacrosse for 8 years. He also played football his freshman and sophomore year. We are most proud of Cooper for his character. He has a big heart, and he's always willing to give a helping hand. He's a great big brother, and it's been a true joy to raise such an incredible young man. The most memorable lacrosse moment that his family had for Cooper was his sophomore season. It was so much fun to watch. The team had a great group of boys, and the games were exciting. The boys and the coaches had great chemistry, and it showed on the field. We witnessed lots of battles that year, and I think that's the year Coop spent the most of his time in the box. Cooper will be attending Grand Canyon University in the fall. He is planning on studying secondary education. As of right now, he would like to teach high school, but that is subject to change. Grand Canyon University does offer an intramural lacrosse team, and he is interested in checking it out. Cooper, tonight we honor you, we appreciate you, we wish you well in all your future plans, and as part of the Brotherhood of Lacrosse, we love you.
When I think of Cooper, I think of hard work and his smile. He's always smiling. No matter what he's doing, he's always smiling. He's got a positive attitude with how he approaches the game and his responsibilities on the team. I think one of our first interactions with Cooper as a new coaching staff last year was we had just read the lines off for the first game. It was our first starting lines, and Cooper was not named as a starter. And he didn't come to us asking why he wasn't a starter. He asked, what can I do to fill that role? What can I do to earn that spot? I said, hey, if you're coming in and you want to be an LSM or a defender, we need the ball. We just need to be able to cause turnovers, and we need the ball. That next game, Cooper not only caused more turnovers than anybody else, he had the most ground balls in the stat sheet. He understood what he needed to do, and he went out and he did it. And that's what I think of when I think of Cooper. He's a guy that wants to know where he stands, what he can do better, and then he'll go out and do it. And he'll do it with a smile on his face. And he's extremely competitive. So that smile is for his team and also for his competition, saying that he's ready for them. His energy and enthusiasm is something that I'm going to miss, and I hope that he never loses that. So Cooper, keep that smile, keep that hard work, keep it going.
Now recognizing number 4, Tristan Hempstead. Tristan played midfield for the Sumner Spartans. Tristan celebrating his senior year in this event with his parents, Jeff and Gail, and his brother, Tanner. Tristan started playing in the 6th grade with Coach Dan Lancaster, so 7 years he has been playing. Along with lacrosse, Tristan loves recreational basketball, but gave it up in 11th grade to focus on lacrosse. We are most proud of Tristan for his commitment to his family, friends, and academics. Tristan sets a goal and goes for it. Most memorable moment that their family and Tristan had was Tristan's passion and commitment to the sport, the relationships that have been built with teammates, coaches, and parents. Lacrosse has been a brotherhood that will carry Tristan through life. As parents, they have enjoyed every single game, win or lose. Tristan has always wanted to be a Coug at WSU and is committed. He will follow in his father's footsteps with a degree in business and marketing and is planning on a secondary in psychology. Tristan is going to focus on his academics, however. However, there is a club lacrosse team that he may consider. Tristan, tonight we honor you, we appreciate you, we wish you well in all your future plans, and as a part of the Brotherhood of Lacrosse, we love you.
Although he was not a so-called captain of the team, after we made our captain choices, we told all of our players, not only the ones that interviewed for the captains, but all the other players on the teams, even though you may not be a captain, we still want you to be a leader out there. And Tristan, from the day we first started weight room, he was constantly there, as much as anybody else. He'd work as hard as anybody else. He would lead by example. He would practice out on the field, take a few players under his wings to show them extra moves, show them what worked for him to where he's at today. The growth that he had from last year to this year, it's leaps and bounds. He's always been a good player, great offensive player, has some great moves. But I think the growth in him individually, not only just as a player, but as an individual person, his growth, like I mentioned, leaps and bounds from what it was last year. And I'm disappointed we didn't get to see that out on the field this year. But prior to the season being lost, he was everything we expected him and then some. I believe he's going to go to Wazoo. I hope he chooses to play lacrosse for their club out there, because he's got the IQ for being a top lacrosse player. He could choose to go play at a bigger school where lacrosse is more important than just a club. He has the skill set to do that. And one example is in the weight room. We all knew he could jump. We didn't know quite what his leaping abilities were, but we set these boxes up with weights up to my chest, and he was able to jump from the ground all the way up. And it was, I'm 6'2", so I don't know what that is, probably 54 inches or so, maybe 60 inches. Just incredible to see that. And I think everybody in that room, their jaws just dropped, and mine definitely dropped. Buddy, I wish the best of college for you. Hopefully you stay in touch with us, and then come back and teach some of our younger players the chance to improve their game as well. Appreciate you, bud. Thanks.
Number 5, Gavin Meyer, playing attack for the Spartans. Celebrating this senior are his parents Steve and Colette, his older brother Brendan, Nana Shirley, Grandma and Grandpa Keller, girlfriend Maddie, and the Lake Taps tribe. Gavin has been playing lacrosse since the 3rd grade. His first lacrosse stick was given to him by Coach Dan, his neighbor at the time, when he suggested he play lacrosse instead of baseball. Thank you, Dan, for introducing us to this amazing sport. Along with lacrosse, Gavin was on the Sumner High School swim team, and he also snowboards, surfs, and slalom skis. We are very proud of Gavin as he is a self-starter, driven and independent. He is compassionate and has a servant heart. He is also an amazing fly fisherman. Our most memorable moment of his high school career is from his freshman year. While on varsity, he scored the first goal against Tahoma and earned the Spartan helmet for the game. Also proud of his multiple tournaments playing for Brady's Bunch in honor of Cameron Kozai. Gavin has committed to Montana State University. He plans on pursuing a degree in financial engineering. He may play lacrosse, but I'm thinking the fly fishing in Montana will be his first choice. Gavin, tonight we honor you, we appreciate you, we wish you well in all your future plans, and as a part of the Brotherhood of Lacrosse, we love you.
Gavin, I have known him since his 6th grade, watching him play all these years. This would have been our first full season together as a player-coach. Once we got word that he was coming back, Coach Chow and I, we were very anxious to hear that. Gavin is a quiet individual on the field and off the field, but sometimes quietness can be a benefit as well, can be sneaky out there, and we were looking forward to watching him grow as an individual and as a player this year, and knowing what we've seen over the last 6 years with him. I think that's just going to lead well into any direction he goes in life. I know he's off to college, and we wish him the best of luck in college. And if you ever need anything from our staff, please do not hesitate to reach out to us, because we're here for you, and we're here for all of our players.
Number 7, Johnny Zicola. Johnny played midfield and was one of the face-off experts for the Sumner Spartans, as well as being captain for the 2020 season. Celebrating this senior are his parents, Jim and Trish, sisters Abigail and Elizabeth, and Grandma Colleen. Johnny has been playing lacrosse for 10 years. We are most proud of Johnny's positive attitude, hard work, and perseverance, and overall integrity. Our most memorable lacrosse memory was the state lacrosse playoffs last year playing against Glacier Peak, when he made the winning goal in the last 5 seconds of overtime. The game is on YouTube too, so we can watch it in years to come. Johnny plans on attending Cal Polytech University for engineering. He plans to play on their club lacrosse team. Johnny, tonight we honor you, we appreciate you, we wish you well in all your future plans, and as a part of the Brotherhood of Lacrosse, we love you.
I think one of my favorite memories with Johnny was one of the first practices that we had as a new coaching staff. We had just finished a hard practice. We had some conditioning, and we were all down at the school side in the end zone. And I told the guys, hey, if one of you guys can beat me in a race, we'll finish the practice. And everybody volunteered Johnny. And I think I saw Johnny in tryouts, I saw him in captain's practices, and he definitely stood out with his talents and his abilities on the field. But I think that was the first time that we experienced, something together as a coach and as a player. Johnny is a very special player. He is a guy that is willing to help anybody with anything, whether that's something for school. He was a guy that always offered tutoring help for the young freshmen if they needed it. He was always willing to help somebody with their shot, or where their feet needed to be, or how they needed to position themselves to be more effective on the field. I mean, he's a guy that would spend captain's practices working with somebody while everybody else was scrimmaging. He would rather spend that time with that younger player. He was constantly on the field shooting, constantly asking the coaches, because we would switch the locks to the goals, the combos a lot. He would be one of those players that would always want to know the combo, because he would always be out shooting. I would say he's extremely dedicated. He's dedicated to his craft, whether that's school, because he takes school very seriously, which is very respectable, and then also the sport. He's dedicated, he's hardworking, and I think his ability to shift the room, shift what's happening on the field is something special too. You talk about an impact player. If Johnny has the ball on a certain side of the field, the way that he moves and the way that he interacts with his defender makes everybody else pay attention to him. And it's not in a way of here I go, everybody watch this. It's something that he takes advantage of, and he makes sure that everybody around him is getting better. And that's something that I hope that he takes and remembers moving forward, that he has an ability to change the environment that's around him, and he can change it for the better, and he can improve everybody. And he has that spirit to be willing to help everyone, and I'm sure he's never going to lose that attitude or that trait. But when he goes down to Cal Poly, whether it's on the lacrosse field or in the classroom or just in his groups of friends, like, he has the ability to impact that group of people, and I hope he understands that, because he can really use that to better the lives of everyone around him, which I'm sure he's going to do. It's just sometimes realizing it is something that takes some time.
And now, number 9, Rocco Werner, played for Amity on the Sumner Spartans. Celebrating this senior are Brandon, Kara, Micaiah, Brisham, Kenyon, Hannah, and Jackson. Rocco has been playing lacrosse for an amazing 5 months. Along with lacrosse, he also plays football. We are very proud of Rocco, as he is always willing to take on a new challenge. He is caring and compassionate. Our most memorable lacrosse moment is that he made it onto the team as a swing player despite being brand new to the game. He practiced so hard that he needed to replace his top string, even though he had never played in an official game. After graduation, Rocco will return to Germany. He plans to become a neurosurgeon. Rocco, tonight we honor you, we appreciate you, we wish you well in all your future plans, and as part of the Brotherhood of Lacrosse, we love you.
Rocco, our German exchange student. I'm full-blooded German myself, so I connected with him right away. You know, staying with one of our families, one of our coaches, Coach Harris, and Brisham, our player. So there was a lot of lacrosse blood that he was staying with, and I think that lacrosse blood wore off on him. I mean, we knew he was athletic going in. Watching him out there on the football field training, we didn't know too much about the lacrosse side of things. I know coming from Germany, he never had a lacrosse stick in his hands until he joined the Harris family. But once football got done, he was one of the most dedicated individuals we've ever had from the start to the finish. He worked hard in the weight room. He worked hard on conditioning. But the best thing is, since he was new to lacrosse and he did not know how to throw or pass or catch, he would work hours after school, take time from going home to the Harris house to jogging down to the local elementary school and doing wall ball for hours at a time. And we were anxious to see what he could do out on the lacrosse field. Because of his being like a sponge, he wanted to learn that game, and he was learning the game. He would always ask questions, and obviously his work ethic and was practicing all the time. He wanted to get better, and we were anxious to see, you know, yes, he would have been starting out on the JV program for the season with an opportunity to move up during the varsity season. Because of his growth capabilities, I'm pretty confident he would have been on the varsity team at the end of the season. And, you know, he's going to be going home back to Germany here in late June. We wish him the very best back in Germany. And I hope someday I might be able to visit in Germany, since I'm full-blooded myself, and would love to see that country, and we'll be looking you up, Rocco. Congratulations, bud.
Number 17, Gabe Moole, defender and long stick midi for the Sumner Spartans. Celebrating this senior are his parents, David and Karen Moole, grandparents, Moole and family, Grandma Dee and the family, and the Shellen family. Gabe has been playing lacrosse for 9 years. He was also on the Sumner High School cross-country team and snowboards. Some things we are proud of Gabe are being kind, passionate citizen, good sportsmanship, becoming an Eagle Scout, Strong work ethic, goal-oriented, great sense of humor. Some of our most memorable lacrosse memories of Gabe are watching the pure excitement when Sumner High School beat Glacier Peak in 2019 in overtime. The first time he made a traveling team and the excitement of getting the opportunity to play lacrosse across the United States. The excitement of sharing with us the first time he made varsity lacrosse. All the friendships he has established over the years across the various teams he has participated in. Gabe will be attending Central Washington to study paramedicine and will join the Air Force ROTC with the goal of becoming a combat rescue officer. He is planning on playing lacrosse at Central. Gabe, tonight we honor you, we appreciate you, we wish you well in all your future plans, and as a part of the Brotherhood of Lacrosse, we love you.
Gabe is a constant. He's a pillar that I think this team stands on. He is a hard worker, an extremely hard worker, to the point where he was doing two-a-days in preparation for this season. He was training outside of team workouts with a trainer to get better and to get stronger, and then he was also coming to our weight training sessions and our conditioning, and it really showed. I mean, not only did it show in his physical stature. I mean, Gabe is a big kid and he's a strong kid, but it showed in his mental maturity as well. I mean, he understood what his job was. He understood what we were trying to achieve, and he was willing to do it and willing to bring everybody along with him and make sure that everybody was on the same page. He helped keep everybody accountable, which I think is a huge trait as a leader, making sure that everybody's on the same page and everybody's being taken care of and that everybody understands their responsibility. He was one of the guys that we as coaches relied on to educate the younger guys new to the program on how the defense runs, how we operate as a unit in our defense, what our certain calls are, what the slides are. And he brought his experience from playing select ball and from previous coaches to the field while also trying to learn himself. He was a guy that was always asking, especially during film sessions and the huddles, how he could get better. He would come up with a scenario, okay, coach, what would happen in this if we did this? And because he wanted to not only get better, but he also wanted the team to understand what was coming in, or what could happen. And that's a trait that I think is going to really carry over in his program when he's in ROTC at Central. It's going to really help him, and I hope he never loses that. I mean, him being prepared and always thinking 2 steps ahead is going to really help him. And if he decides to play for Central, which I believe he is, it's going to help that team. I mean, he's going to be an impact player from day one.
Number 22, Isaac Padilla. Isaac is being described as energetic, enthusiastic, with a positive attitude. He's a leader by example, and tonight this senior is being celebrated by his parents and his family. He is also known as a workhorse. He's always smiling, a true brother in arms. There are a few ways in which we could describe Isaac. A very special moment that one coach shared from this off-season was during a workout in Sunset Stadium's weight room. It was hot, and the team was slogging through another burner of a workout, and there was Isaac, smiling and laughing, picking everyone else up, making sure they were being accountable. His attitude was special and motivating, but the most impactful thing that showed his true character was when he saw some freshmen struggling. He went out of the way to make sure they understood what the workout was, taught them proper technique, and continued to check on them for the rest of the day. This was his second season with a stick in his hand, and through his work on and off the field, Isaac made varsity. As coaches and players, we're going to miss Isaac's ability to brighten a room and his never give up attitude. We'll miss you and good luck. Isaac, tonight we honor you, we appreciate you, and we wish you well in all your future plans. And as a part of the Brotherhood of Lacrosse, we love you.
Isaac is one of my favorite players that I've been able to coach here at Sumner, just because of his spirit that he brings into the room, the weight room, the film room, or on the field. I mean, his energy and enthusiasm is contagious. But I think one of the things that I respect most about Isaac is his willingness to help others, especially in the weight room where he had a lot of experience and we had freshmen that were coming in. Whenever he would come in, he would make sure that those guys were safe. He would make sure that they understood what they were doing, and he followed them through the workout, making sure that they were doing everything properly and that they were learning how to lift. It wasn't just, hey, complete the lift this way. He made sure that they understood how to do it. And then he translated that to the lacrosse field. I mean, he was a second-year player as well. This is the second year of him playing lacrosse, and he made varsity. I mean, he made that jump because of his commitment and his drive and his hard work. The knowledge that he had, he was very open with sharing it, and also being open about asking questions like, hey, I don't understand this. How can I get better? And he was not afraid of that. He wasn't embarrassed if he didn't know anything. He was extremely humble in saying, let me learn and let me get better. Another very physical, very fleet-footed guy on the field. I was excited. I mean, he was one of the guys that I was super excited to see what he could do on the field, just because of his excitement for the season. I mean, he was a multi-sport athlete, played football, he wrestled for Sumner. The entire year, as we talked through the fall ball coaching period, the captain's practices, and all that, he was excited for lacrosse, and that was where he was focused. And we were all excited to see what he was going to do, because I mean, he was bringing everything that he had to the field, and you could see it from day one, from our organized practices at the beginning of our season. So, Isaac, keep it going. Don't stop. Don't lose the smile. Don't lose the enthusiasm.
Number 24, Trevor Wise. Trevor was a defensive middie for the Sumner Spartans. Celebrating this senior are his dad, Scott Wise, his mom, Shannon, and sister, Alexa. This would have been Trevor's second year playing lacrosse. Trevor played football for Sumner High School all 4 years. He also ran track his freshman and sophomore year. I am most proud of the dedication and effort he put forth in order to make varsity this year. Last year was his first ever playing lacrosse, and he really loved it. In the after season, he practiced to get better with his net and ball stick skills. He lifted weights with the team and went to all the preseason workouts and practices. He was determined to get better and to be good enough to make varsity. My most memorable lacrosse moment was in the beginning of last year during one of his games. He played so tough and even scored a goal. I had not been able to watch him practice, so I did not know how quickly he had picked up this new sport. I was so excited for him because he was so excited. He just kept telling me how much fun he was having all year. Trevor's plans after graduation are to join the electrical union. He will graduate high school and also receive his AA degree from Green River. I don't know if he will play lacrosse again, but I'm sure he would love to. Trevor, tonight we honor you, we appreciate you, we wish you well in all your future plans, and as a part of the Brotherhood of Lacrosse, we love you.
Trevor, your desire to learn the game from the day one from a year ago to the last day that we were able to have our scrimmage out on the field before the season was pulled out from under us, you were always willing to continue to learn the game of lacrosse. You would have been our top defensive middie this year. Coach Chow and myself were looking forward to watching you play on the defensive side of the game. You would have been excelling at that, I know, just because of the work ethic that you have. Your work ethic was contagious to other players on the team. We really noticed that, yes, you want to try to improve yourself at the game of lacrosse, because you were looking for big things this year for your senior year, and you would have had big things come your way out on the lacrosse field. We're all confident that would have happened. And with that being said, I mean, it's, you just have to watch what you would do after a practice, captain's practice or fall practice. You would spend time not only trying to work on your stick skills, but you would do the extra sprints. And I thought last year, watching Coach Chow and Johnny run full field, contesting against each other, you would have been right there with them, just because your work ethic would have allowed you to stay up there with those guys running. I know that you're going to be successful no matter what you do. Whatever your plans are for the future, in the short term or the long term, I think with what we've seen from you, you're going to be one very successful individual.
Number 27, Captain Defender Tyler Yount. Celebrating this senior are his parents, Trudy and Greg, sisters Ashley and Haley. Tyler has been playing lacrosse since the 3rd grade. He isn't on any other sports teams, but he likes playing lots of sports for fun. We are most proud of Tyler for realizing that the actions he takes will impact other people, and people matter to him. He is someone that you can count on. He puts effort into being a good friend. Also proud of his commitment and positive attitude. He contributes whatever he can to his team. He is also a 4.0 student. We have so many lacrosse memories. My favorite memory from lacrosse will be that he had fun. I will always remember at one point we had a lot of fun trying to dye really cool lacrosse heads. Also when the team went to Spokane for playoffs and all his grandparents got to watch him play. Tyler plans to attend Davison College in North Carolina. He will always play lacrosse for fun. Tyler, tonight we honor you, we appreciate you, we wish you well in all your future plans, and as a part of the Brotherhood of Lacrosse, we love you.
Tyler is our senior defender. He's one of our big bruisers in the back there. We've always enjoyed having him in the workout room with a great attitude. He's one of our senior captains. He was always a leader in the weight room. The one thing I do remember about him in the weight room, though, it always cracked me up. He would always ask what the finishing workout would be. Because the one thing he did not want to do is come out here on the track and run. He does not like to run. He'll do crunches and all the other stuff, but he does not like to do the distance running. And so he would always ask that, and of course I had to tease him and tell him we're going to be doing some running, and then when he found out that wasn't quite right, then he was relieved. But he's always had a great attitude out of the years that we've known him. I wish him very, very well with everything he does. I've known him and his family for a number of years. He comes from a great family, and because of that, we can really see that he's a great individual. He's going to do great things back at Davidson. With not having this year, being able to play games, hopefully you still have that fire in you to continue to play it and get some more games under your belt, because you will succeed not only in the lacrosse field and on the college level, but you're going to succeed in life as well.
Number 34, Nick Yoakum, playing midfield for the Sumner Spartans. Celebrating this senior are his parents, Trish, Joe, and Ty. This was Nick's first year playing lacrosse. Nick has played WPFC soccer and Sumner High School track and field. We are most proud of Nick's amazing drive and passion for life. Nick will be attending Whitworth in the fall. We hope he continues to play all kinds of rec sports throughout his college career. Nick, tonight we honor you, we appreciate you, we wish you well in all your future plans, and as a part of the Brotherhood of Lacrosse, we love you.
The first time that I met Nick was actually not on the lacrosse field. It was in the equipment shed. He was getting taped up for playing soccer, and his athleticism and ability to impact the play that was happening on the field was apparent right from the get-go. I mean, the kid is an athlete, and he can really move, and especially as a defender, he had the footwork that is hard to teach and hard to coach. So that was something that I was really excited about to see. And then something that you also can't teach is just the attitude and the way that he carried himself with the team. I mean, he was the ASB president of Sumner for a reason. And I mean, it's his energy, his enthusiasm, and his ability to hype everybody up around him. I would say he was one of the team's hype man this year. He made sure that everybody was pumped and ready to go and checked in and mentally focused. And that's something that is really special in a leader. And even though this was Nick's first year playing, again, he exemplified what this senior class is as a whole, and that's a hardworking group. I mean, he put in a lot of time with his stick to make sure that he was ready come tryouts, and then moving forward, how he could improve. he was hitting the wall, he was shooting. I mean, there was a few things on social media that I was fortunate enough to see by a player showing me that Nick was out shooting. He was out working, trying to improve and trying to get better. And that's really special and cool to see as a coach, especially for a new player who sometimes new players have a tendency to have the only teaching or the only improving happening during practice when the coaches are there. And Nick took the initiative to take that training aspect on by himself and go out and do it. And I think that's something that's going to go and really help him later in life. I mean, his drive and enthusiasm is going to take him really far.
Number 35, Brisham Harris. Brisham is the goalie for the Sumner Spartans and also a captain in his senior year. Celebrating this senior are Brandon, Kara, Micaiah, Rokel, Kenyon, Hannah, and Jackson. Brisham has been playing lacrosse for 10 years. Along with lacrosse, he also plays tennis. We are very proud of Brisham as he is a compassionate brother. He continues to prove himself as a lead by example type of leader in multiple venues. Our most memorable lacrosse moment was freshman year, watching Brisham step into the cage during a varsity game with no warm-up and end with multiple saves. After graduation, Brisham will be going into the U.S. Navy for nuclear propulsion school. Thank you for your service, Brisham, and tonight we honor you, we appreciate you, we wish you well in all your future plans, and as a part of the Brotherhood of Lacrosse, we love you.
Brisham is the quarterback of the club. I got to know Brisham since his 6th grade. Started coaching him last year, and as far as any player out there on the field, Brisham is the type of individual that you want to have on your team. He is very educated in the game of lacrosse. I think with the position that he played, it's considered the quarterback of the team, and he treated that position as the most valuable spot on the field. He not only would direct players in the right spots, he knew where to throw the ball to get the ball down the field. He is one of the most hardest working individuals I have seen. He would show up to the weight room. He's a very driven individual, and I think with him going into the military after the summer here, he's not only with his work ethic, he's going to be one of the top leaders within the naval program that he's going into. I'm going to miss him dearly. I think this would have been, he's had very successful seasons the last 2 years in high school lacrosse. I think the senior year would have been just the one season where he would have shined above everybody else. And yes, we didn't get the season in, but because of who he is, he's going to be shining in life the rest of his career.
Number 40, Derek Klungnes. Derek is a 2-year player that has made every moment he had on the field count. And this senior is being represented with his parents and family. Derek, never having picked up a stick before last year, had made sure that he was soaking up as much knowledge from other players as possible. If getting better meant sticking around after practice or after weight room, he would do it. Derek was an athlete you didn't have to worry about counting reps for. In his own words, Derek says, "Last year was my first season ever playing lacrosse. It was the first high school sport I ever played. Last year, my dad was pushing me to pick up a sport to play for my last 2 years of high school. One day, I was talking to Tristan, and he said, 'Why don't you come play lacrosse?' And I'm so glad I did. We are glad that you did too, Derek. Not only did you bring your never-say-die attitude to the field, you brought a wealth of knowledge." After graduating from Sumner, Derek will study to become an electrician. Good luck to you, Derek. And Derek, tonight we honor you, we appreciate you, we wish you well in all your future plans, and as a part of the Brotherhood of Lacrosse, we love you.
Derek is a player that this was his 2nd year ever picking up a stick. He was coming in as a senior, and last year he got the taste of lacrosse, and I think he got hooked because once we said that we were going to have the off-season workouts, he was there constantly. He was one of the constants in weight room, out on the field. And then he was also a constant working with the other guys. Any chance that he could have a stick in his hand and working with another player, one of the more experienced players, he took it. He was out shooting with Johnny and Tristan a lot. He was out on the field working on his long passes and his stick skills and his footwork, and trying to increase his lacrosse IQ. And when I think of Derek, I mean, this senior class, if I had to say anything, it's hard work. These guys put in work. They were committed. And Derek is no different. He put in time in the weight room, got a lot stronger during that time. He also got better in increasing his lacrosse IQ. I was excited to see what he was going to do this year. He came out as a leader on the team in his spot. Even though it was his second year, I mean, he carried himself like he was an experienced player. And I think that really got him a lot of respect with the younger players. So I love his hard work and his commitment to the game and his energy and enthusiasm when he was there on the field. So that's what I'm going to miss. I mean, his drive to get better as a brand new player was something that just made me proud as a coach, because that's something that you can't teach. That's something that a player has, and he had it in buckets. So.
Number 50, Grant Yasik, played midfield for the Sumner Spartans. Celebrating this senior are Amy and Sean McClay, mom and stepdad, James and Cindy Yasik, dad and stepmom, sisters Haley, Maddie and Bella, brothers Jake and Josh. This would have been Grant's first season. Grant also played basketball and soccer. I am proud of Grant's positive outlook and resilience. He has moved around a lot due to being part of a military family and always lands on his feet with a positive attitude and adventurous spirit. Unfortunately, we do not have any memorable lacrosse experiences personally, but Grant really liked all his teammates and enjoyed working out with them and learning the sport from them. For us, watching Grant in all of the sports that he participated in has always been so much fun and a wonderful part of watching him grow up. After graduation, Grant will be attending Grand Canyon University in the fall. Grant, tonight we honor you, we appreciate you, we wish you well in all your future plans, and as a part of the Brotherhood of Lacrosse, we love you.
This is one of our first year players. He decided to try something new, and what he decided to try was lacrosse. And I mean, I remember my first day as a lacrosse player. It was extremely daunting to come out. I mean, not only are you running around a field that's bigger than a soccer field, you have a stick and you're trying to catch a ball that's the size of a tennis ball while guys are hitting you and smacking you and stuff. So I mean, it's really intimidating. And Grant jumped in with both feet. He was so excited to get a stick in his hands, and once he got that stick in his hands, he worked and worked and worked. Wanted to make sure that his passing form was correct. He wanted to make sure that he understood where he needed to be on the field. He was picking guys' brains from day one on how he could improve as a lacrosse player. And then also, he kept coming to weight room. He was one of the constants that kept coming to weight room when he could, and really formed that unified bond with the other teammates. I mean, I keep coming back to this with each senior, but I mean, their enthusiasm and their hard work was a defining part of this class, and he's again is no different from any of these other seniors. I mean, positive attitude, always had a smile on his face, and was ready to work. I mean, he was ready to go, whether it was we're going to do burnouts in the weight room with the bench, or if we were going to do squats, or if we were going to go out and run sprints for conditioning, or if at practice, you know, we were running a crazy 8 or something, or doing a draw bag, or doing a certain strenuous drill. I mean, he was ready to go from day one, and that's something that I really respect from him, is that his willingness to work and willingness to do hard things. So I hope that he never loses that trait that he has.